And we're live.
Hello.
You want to explain why we're doing this on a Monday and not on a Sunday?
Um, my mother wanted me to spend the day with her, so yeah, couldn't join Okami on the podcast.
Yay! So that's why we're doing it today. You want to explain why you don't have your webcam going?
No.
Do
No.
I want to explain why I'm wearing a different set of headphones? Probably.
Yes.
So, for those who weren't here for the last stream, and I tweeted this out as well, I broke my old headset. Like, I snapped it in half. So,
Yeah.
this is a new pair of headphones. They work pretty well. The only problem I have with it is that the volume slider is right here, and it's very easy to bump, and because of that, I like I'll accidentally either turn the sound way down or way up. So that's gonna take a little bit of getting used to, but otherwise, I'm liking this headset.
I'm hashtag too much Dark Souls.
So you want to talk about what you've been playing this past week?
Well, it's pretty much gonna be a repeat, but
RWBY and Borderlands.
and a little bit of 100% orange juice.
All right. You want to talk about your experiences with 100% orange juice then?
Oh God, kill me. In 2 words, just kill me.
That's how you sum up 100% orange juice the right way.
Okay, so let's put some detail into this. Last time me and Okami played 100% orange juice, we were bored and Borderlands was getting a little bit plain. So we got into the lobby and we started the game. And I remember the first game was actually the greatest comeback because
You clearly
all
have not been around 100% orange juice that long then.
yeah. Um, Two of the characters that are computers, and then Okami. All three of them have like 3 or 4 stars, so they're like 2 stars away from getting.
Getting the
I,
win.
I, I yeah, and I'm sitting over here with like 1 or 2 stars. All of my rolls from that point on somehow got me high enough to catch up and blow past them.
Yeah, that's how 100% orange juice works. You think you're going to win, like, you start very strong, and then you fall apart. That's just how that game goes.
It's like a badly made cookie.
Well, I have been playing the studying game because I last Friday was actually my last day of first semester in high school, my senior year of high school. And because of that, I have today off from school, and starting tomorrow, I will be in my second semester of my senior year, aka my last semester of high school. So once I get through this, done with high school. As for games that I've actually been playing, I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil 7, because that came out last Tuesday, along with like 3 other games. Because, let's see, Resident Evil 7 came out last Tuesday, so did Tales of Berseria, so did Yakuza 0, and so did Kingdom Hearts 2.8. So 4 games came out. It was a very expensive day.
Damn.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only game I could really pick up at the time was Resident Evil 7, but fuck did I enjoy playing that. If you haven't played a Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 7 is a pretty good jumping on point because unlike Resident Evil 4 and 5 and 6 especially, this game is going back to its horror aspect as opposed
Right.
to the past few Resident Evil games, which have just been doing a shit ton of damage and looking badass about it. No, this game really goes back to its horror aspect. But it's also like really short. Like one of the achievements, for example, in the game is to beat the game in under 4 hours. The run I did where I got that achievement, it took me about 3 hours.
Jesus.
So not a long game, but for what it's worth, it's really good. And because I got the deluxe edition, it came with the season pass as well. So I'm gonna have
Completionism.
I'm gonna have access to the DLC as a result. I also started playing Zero Time Dilemma on the 3DS. I play on the Steam version. Like I play the Steam version, and now I'm playing the 3DS version, and it's really interesting. Like playing a puzzle game that you played however long ago, and then like replaying it months later, forgetting all the puzzle answers, and then having to figure it all out again is really interesting. Having something like that happen,
Right.
which is exactly what's happening to me in Zero Time Dilemma.
Right. I'm following the gameplay of Biohazard through Markiplier as much as anyone else is. And I gotta say it's kind of ramping up. And with the thing is, like, with the game, it actually gives you quite a few hints as to what happened, and you kind of have to think about it. No
Mm-hmm.
spoilers. I will punch you through
No,
the
no,
internet.
no Resident Evil 7 spoilers. Uh, what else did I play? On the last stream that I broke my headset on, I started playing Aladdin because I want to try to do this thing for at least the next few streams, where the game that I pick to start with is a game that I haven't played yet. So that way, like for games that are really short, I can maybe cross a few off the backlog. I That won't be the case with the next stream though, because I have been invited by a friend of mine to play Dead Rising 4 on stream, so we're gonna open up with that instead on the next stream. Uh, and earlier today, and partially yesterday as well, I went back to the original Assassin's Creed, which is not a good game. Like, not. Well, it's an okay game, but it's definitely got some problems. So, for example, the main complaint I had with the original Assassin's Creed were the flag collectibles. Because a good collectible, you have some sort of map or like some sort of checklist as to which ones you got and which ones you didn't. In this game, you don't have anything like that. You just gotta hope you get lucky. Or use a guide like I did. So that was very not fun, but I eventually did it. I've got 2 achievements left to get in the game, and after that, I will be done with Assassin's Creed. But there are 2 achievements I cannot get unless I actually replay the game, because it's a very well-designed game, clearly. So, yay for that!
Well, goddamn.
And
Goddamn.
that's most of what I've been playing these past 2 weeks.
It's actually not bad. I've actually liked the Assassin's Creed series.
Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that the Assassin's Creed games are pretty good. Like, I enjoy the Assassin's Creed games. I've 100% completed 2. I 100% completed the base part of Syndicate, so I didn't get the DLC for Syndicate. I'm getting close to completing the first one, and I'm getting close to finishing 4.
That actually brings me to a thought. I've played a little bit of Unity before.
Yeah, nobody likes Unity.
Nobody likes Unity.
I haven't played Unity, so I can't speak from experience, but that's the general thing I've heard.
No, I won't lie to you. Nobody likes Unity.
Well, I like shitty games,
from my experience.
I like shitty games, so you never know.
Well, I mean, there is that ET Digital Companion game, so
Oh
you know,
my god!
I'm not letting that go.
I know you're not. Just like I'm not letting go of the fact that a friend of mine, when we were playing Overwatch, I was shooting at him to heal him because of the character I was playing as. Like, I was healing them. But they were just standing there for like 30 seconds, not realizing there was somebody behind him shooting him. So I'm like, dude, look behind you.
He's like, where?
Yeah. That's...
He looks everywhere but behind him.
Yeah. That's him in a nutshell. He's very very dense, we'll say that. I
Denser than the
also
bones of he's denser than the bones of undead.
uh-huh. I also went to a video game tournament in these past 2 weeks for a very weird Dreamcast game called Ready to Rumble Boxing. And
What?
yeah, this is a game. And I placed second in the tournament, so I got a $10 gift card.
Like that's gonna do anything?
It does something. This is also a retro game shop, so
Wait, really?
yeah, it's a retro game shop, so there's a number of games that you can get for less than $10,
Oh,
and
that's
and there will be
that's
some,
awesome.
and there are some surprisingly hidden gems in there.
We keep interrupting each other. I'm so sorry.
Also, for the curious, since he's not using his webcam, and we were already in Discord, we just decided to have this call in Discord, because, like, what's the point of going into Skype if he's not gonna use his webcam? So,
Yay.
but no, that should be... oh yeah, and I went back to playing a little bit of King of Fighters 14, which I'll probably play a bit more extensively later. That might be one... like, I am basically set up this whole thing where it's like, I have basically 3 games I'm playing right now. I have a game that I'm playing that's on a console that I want 100%. Currently, it's Assassin's Creed. I've got a game that I'm playing on the go that I want 100%. That's currently Zero Time Dilemma. And then the last one, which varies, is just what I play with friends. I guess in this case, it would be Borderlands 2. So now I'm trying to find a game that I can go through since I'm nearing the end of Assassin's Creed. Right now, I'm thinking the original Dead Rising, because I never did 100% finish that. And I also love the Dead Rising games, so I think that might be what I go for next, but I'll decide as I get closer to that. I will probably finish Assassin's Creed 100% before the next podcast, though. I think that's most of what I want to talk about for games I've been playing. Yeah, I think so. So, shall we go on to news then?
Sure.
Alright, you want to start us off?
Alright. Should I start with my first game on the list?
Just pick one.
Alright. Let's start off with the first game on the list, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is an action-adventure video game originally developed by Core Design and then later passed on in development to Crystal Dynamics. Tomb Raider was a popular franchise whose first game was posted in the mid-1990s, which was actually pretty nice. You follow a character known as Lara Croft, who travels the world in search of some of the most rare and valuable artifacts, their histories and origins lost to time. I do forget to mention that she is... it's not directly stated, but she's somewhat of an archaeologist.
It's implied.
Yeah. The game in itself poses a type of like explorative aspect. Not so much where it's like...
also, please tell me that means I can call her Indiana Croft.
pretty much, yeah. So it's basically free roam, but in such a way that it's not exactly Tomb Raider if you're not looking for the tombs. In such a way that it focuses more on the exploration and adventure rather than the combat or the story. Don't get me wrong, though, the story plays a large role in it, but it isn't as emphasized. Anyway, while walking around the large maps and seemingly secret areas that are hidden around the world, quote-unquote, all sorts of enemies can block your path. Wildlife, natives, even monsters, and... no, I did not stutter. Overall, I do believe that Tomb Raider is an amazing explorative series. And for anyone who hasn't played it before and loves adventure, I suggest getting this game.
Yeah,
I think the... sorry, go ahead.
No, you finish your statement.
I think the latest game that we have had released is Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I'm pretty sure it's Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Okay. I liked the... I personally...
I can confirm this if you want to and look it up.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I personally like the 2013 game for Tomb Raider. I don't know what it was. I just kind of it felt relaxing to play that game, even though it's not at all relaxing.
Yeah,
But
Rise of the Tomb Raider is the most recent one, having come out in 2015.
called it.
Specifically, November 10th, 2015. So, pretty much on the cusp of it.
But yeah, I do recommend this for anyone who hasn't played the Tomb Raider series before and loves adventure and exploration. I really do suggest this game.
Yeah,
Um,
I've only played two Tomb Raider games. I've only played Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, and the 2013 Tomb Raider. I do have a copy of, I forget which Tomb Raider. I have one of the Tomb Raiders on PlayStation 1. I want to say it's the third one. I'd need to check that. Actually, what am I doing? I can pull up my backlog and check it like that. Uh, nope, it's the original Tomb Raider.
do 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 do
So I
do
own
do.
the first Tomb Raider on PlayStation 1, but I haven't played it. But I did play at least a bit of Tomb Raider on Tomb Raider 2013 and Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. The main reason I played those two was because they were free games at one point for Games of Gold on Xbox. Speaking
Right.
of which, that transitions pretty nicely into what I'm going to talk about. The Games of
Okay.
Gold titles for February of 2017.
Ooh. All right.
So, all month on Xbox One, for free, you can get Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time, which I've heard good things about it. I have not played. That's all I have to say about it. For Xbox One only, between February 16th and March 15th, you can get Project Cars Digital Edition, which
Well,
it's
bam.
cars, so I'm assuming it's a racing game. I, that seems like a no-brainer to me, at least. For the first half of February, from the 1st to the 15th, on both Xbox 360 and Xbox One, you can get Monkey Island 2 Special Edition. So I assume it's an island that's filled with monkeys, and then you have to have fun with a barrel of monkeys, and then get drunk off your ass with monkeys, and build a house with monkeys, and I don't know anything about this game if you can't tell.
It's like a barrel of monkeys. Like you
It's a
heard it
barrel of
before,
monkeys,
you
yeah.
open it up. You heard it before, you open it up, and you don't know what the fuck to do with them.
Yeah. And then for the second half of February, from the 16th to the 28th, on both Xbox 360 and Xbox One, you can get Star Wars The Force Unleashed.
Was that loud? I'm sorry.
It was audible, if that's what you were asking.
Rip headphone users.
No, it wasn't loud, but I could hear it through my headphones.
Well, damn.
Alright. And that's all I had to say about the Games of Gold. I'm probably not going to download them because really the only Games of Gold games I download now are specifically Xbox 360 games with gold that are Xbox Live Arcade only, because since I'm a collector, those that got a retail copy don't really appeal to me, since I'll probably just find a copy later on anyway, and they take up a lot of storage space on your hard drive, so even if I did want to get them, I probably wouldn't have the storage space to do so with. And then, for some dumb reason, on Xbox One, if you get a game on Xbox One through the Games with Gold program, and then you lose your gold membership, you don't get to keep the game. On Xbox 360, you get to keep it, but not on Xbox One, which is really stupid. Uh,
Damn.
and and I would normally talk about the PlayStation Plus free games for February, but they haven't been announced yet, which is weird because tomorrow is the last day of January. They should have been announced by this point. So it's entirely possible for that reason that the PlayStation Plus free games might be getting delayed. But we'll see what happens. Alright, you want to talk about your next piece of news?
Hmm. I'm not sure. I need to get like one more note in here.
Alright, well, while you're doing that, I'll talk about my next piece of news.
I should have worked on it before, but now it's like unfortunate. Sorry.
Alright, my next piece of news is going to be a continuation of Nintendo Switch. So, on the last podcast, I talked a lot about the Nintendo Switch presentation since that went live. And I've gotten a little bit more information out of it now. One is, I talked about briefly, you get a free game per month, but it didn't say whether it was only for that month or if you got to keep it after the month is over. It's confirmed that you keep it only for that month, which is stupid. Like, you should be able to keep it indefinitely, not just for that 1 month. Or even just, like, make it so you get the game for free, and then you can pay a fee to keep it, but it's like a reduced fee because you got the game free. Which, I don't know. The way Nintendo's handling online stuff for the Switch is a little silly, but it's Nintendo, and they haven't been known for their online stuff outside of Splatoon. Like, Splatoon's pretty much the top quality internet stuff you're going to get from Nintendo. Like, it's not going to get much higher than that. They're doing away with Miiverse and Street Pass. That's not going to be on the Switch. Which makes me sad, because that means the Bad Miiverse Posts channel, like Twitter channel, is not going to be posting anymore, which is a hilarious Twitter account. I recommend you go read that Twitter account if you want a good read. It's really funny. It just makes fun. It makes fun of terrible Miiverse posts, and for some reason, a lot of them have something to do with 9/11, and I don't know why. Because people on the internet are really mature motherfuckers.
I don't get that.
Yeah, people neither do I. I think they learned that. I think it's for reasons like this why they learned that having Miiverse is a shitty idea. The max external storage capacity for the Nintendo Switch is going to be 2 terabytes.
Damn.
Yeah, well, you'd have to get the memory card for that, though, which will probably not come cheap. There will be no video streaming services, so say, for example, Netflix, Hulu. None of that's going to be on the Switch at launch, which means they'll probably get added later. I don't know why it's not there at launch, but hey, that's how it is. Up to 8 accounts, Nintendo Network accounts, can be made on the Nintendo Switch, which why you'd need that many is beyond me, but it's there if you want it. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will also be the final first-party game on the Wii U. So, after Breath of the Wild comes out, Nintendo's not going to be supporting the Wii U anymore. There's going to be other third-party games that come out that'll be pretty good. Like, I think Yooka-Laylee's still going to come out on the Wii U. But that's also been confirmed for Switch now. And speaking of games that have been confirmed for Switch, I just saw this Twitter post earlier. Shovel Knight's going to be confirmed for Switch, and apparently, I think, Yacht Club Games has gotten their dev kit for the Switch. So, yay for that. And that's all my Switch information that I have.
Alright. Okay, I'm all good.
You want to talk about your next piece of news?
I do. So, my second thing on the list is actually an entire franchise. I came across this about 2 days ago. Gears of War, a video game franchise created and originally owned by Epic Games, is a series of games about conflict between humanity and a race of lizard hominids known as the Locust Horde. I didn't know what to call them at the time, so... The protagonist in this surprising series is Marcus Phoenix, a soldier in the Coalition of Ordered Governments. COB.
Is Phoenix his middle name and then his last name's Wright? Marcus Phoenix Wright?
I will punch you.
Not before I punch you!
I
actually acted like I was about to punch my webcam.
Oh my god, same.
Well, your webcam's not on, so
I can pretend.
you can pretend.
I can have dreams too, Janet.
No, you can't. Anyway, back to Gears of War.
Marcus Phoenix, a soldier in the coalition of ordered governments. He's been tasked with the goal of leading a final assault to destroy the Locust Horde and, in essence, save humanity. The game was released on November 7th, 2006, with its continued titles Gears of War 2, released in 2008, and Gears of War 3 in 2011. Truthfully, I've only played the first two games, but in terms of game mechanics, from what I've seen, there is a lot about the franchise that in itself is very unique, including what's known as the RWBY run. It's basically the generic sprint key for most games, but with the way the camera moves while you're running, it gives a really nice shaking aesthetic that gives off the thought that you're moving with the group. Not only that, but combine that with the third-person playout and with the aiming system, it's a very, very kind of unique. It's a very kind of unique gameplay.
What the fuck is happening to your microphone?
What's wrong?
Like, every time you said very, it did this very weird, like, jolt thing.
Very.
It didn't do it that time.
Well, anyways. The RWBY run is... the RWBY run is actually quite comedic. It's like you're bending forward, and your legs are, like, made shorter.
So it's like you're trying to sit on the toilet.
It's like you're kind of... It's like you're trying to sit on the toilet and just inch your way over. But nonetheless, it's the generic sprint key. What I found amazing was in Gears of War 2, if you ever went into the darkness, the Krill would like, it's like a horde of, I don't know what the fuck they are. They're birds or whatever. But I hated that part with a vengeance. Because the Krill is the most annoying to deal with. Because you have to constantly stay in the light. And there are so little chances to stay in the light.
Oh yeah,
that
I know exactly what you're talking about, because
Yeah.
what little I played of Gears of War 1. Because my experience for reference with Gears of War is I played a bit of the first one's campaign, but I mainly played it for the multiplayer. And I own Gears of War Judgment, but I have not played it.
Oh, dude, we need to play that whenever I come over.
Or you just need to get... Well, is Gears of War Judgment even local play? Or Gears of War in general? I think it's System Link only.
No, it is, I think it's local.
I'll take your word for it.
Or at least Gears of War 1 or 2 was.
Well, I'll look at Gears of War 1.
Searching it up. Apart from that, what I really found interesting was the aiming system. It's that, like, okay, well, where's the melee button? Do you, like, take out an axe? Holy shit, the rifle is a saw blade. I know that this doesn't have anything to do with aiming, but I'm gonna move into a completely different topic here. The melee. The fucking melee. You can initiate in a melee duel.
No, never mind. It looks like Gears of War is local co-op.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Next time I come over then. The fact that they managed to attach a saw blade onto a rifle. What the fuck? Someone tell me this, please.
Dude, that's the best weapon ever.
I know.
Like, sawing, like, especially in multiplayer, like, you sneak up on your opponent and all of a sudden they get sawed. We always love killing each other like that. Yeah. It is the best.
Like that was...
I'm pretty sure it's like the only way we killed each other for the longest time.
Oh my god. Okay, it was Okami of Games in the Judicial Hall with the saw blade rifle.
Where are you
I don't
going
even know
with
what it's
this?
called. It was you. You did it.
I did it!
You did it.
I did it!
I will sue you now
No, you
for
won't.
being too awesome.
You can't sue me if you're not alive.
Well, fuck. You called my bluff.
I'm good at calling bluffs.
Bullshit detector is off the charts.
I'm the buff bluffer.
Oh. Anyway, there are a lot of aspects about Gears of War that really make it a unique series of games, a really unique franchise. And I'm not going to say that for every game because, of course, that's pretty much true. But
Yeah.
it's got a certain addicting kind of attractiveness to it.
Yeah, I wanted to pick up a copy of Gears of War 4 when that came out, but I was not the most financially stable at that point in time, so I wasn't able to pick up a copy.
Right. All right. I'm all good.
Alright, my next piece of news is the Fire Emblem Direct that happened over these past 2 weeks. So during this, there were 4 major highlights from this. One is Fire Emblem Echoes, which will be basically a remake by the looks of it of Fire Emblem Gaiden, which was only released in Japan. Currently, it is scheduled for release on May 19th, along with 2 new amiibos, and it will be on the 3DS. I still need to play some more Fire Emblem games. I have a bunch of Fire Emblem games. Like I have a lot of Fire Emblem games, but I just don't play them that much, and I really need to get back to playing them. Speaking of Fire Emblem games being released, Fire Emblem is going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch, like a main series Fire Emblem game. And it's going to be nice because it's going to be the first Fire Emblem game that will be on a console since 2008. And
Goddamn.
it is scheduled to be released sometime in 2018, and the name is also not final, hence Fire Emblem on the Switch. Fire Emblem Warriors, we already knew that was coming in fall of 2017, but the main piece of information that was revealed is it will also be on the new Nintendo 3DS, so if you have one, you can get Fire Emblem Warriors on the new 3DS. I just love how laughably small the new 3DS's library is specifically in comparison with the original 3DS, because on the new 3DS, let's see what the exclusives are. There's Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, which you can't play on the original 3DS, but it's also a port of the Wii version. There's Binding of Isaac, the port of Binding of Isaac Rebirth on the 3DS, but it's also only on the new 3DS. Also a port. There's the Super Nintendo Virtual Console, which literally every game is a port of a Super Nintendo game. And then there's Fire Emblem Warriors, which is coming out, which is basically a port of the Switch version. So every single new 3DS exclusive game has been a port. Not even its own original game.
Well, damn.
And it's like, what the fuck? And finally, they talked about Fire Emblem Heroes, which is the smartphone game coming to smartphones. It's got the full tactics gameplay of a normal Fire Emblem game. It's a mobile game, which means it's going to have a microtransaction feature, which is going to be you purchase orbs, and then you can use those orbs to summon different heroes from different Fire Emblem games. And characters, thankfully, unlike in most Fire Emblem games, will not die. Like, if they fall in battle, they don't die. You can use them again after battle, which... That's one thing that I really didn't like about Fire Emblem is, in a lot of games, they fixed this with some of the new ones with having an option for it. When characters die in battle, then you can't use them anymore for the rest of the game. But there's an option in, I think, Awakening onwards, where you can have it so any units that fall in battle, you get them back at the end of the battle. So it's nice for people who don't usually play these Fire Emblem games, but of course I'm insane, and I also don't play the games that much, so fuck that option.
No, I'm gonna get gunned down on the spot here, but what is it about Fire Emblem that people actually like?
Uh, it seems to be like a really well-known
I fucking
tactics
destroyed.
game. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of tactics games though. I think the probably my favorite tactics game that I played is Lost Dimension. But Fire Emblem is apparently a really good tactics game, and I'll just have to play it some more on my own time. Because what games do I have? I've got the original one we got in English. I have Sacred Stones. I have Path of Radiance. I've got Fire Emblem Awakening, and I've got Fire Emblem Fate's Birthright. And that's most of what I have. But anyway,
Mm.
back to the subject at hand. Fire Emblem Heroes. It's gonna come out the 2nd of February, which is actually only in a few days. That's this Thursday. There's also a Choose Your Legends website, which will if you have your My Nintendo account synced to it, you can get some coins from that, so you can use them for rewards on My Nintendo. Which too bad My Nintendo sucks major balls. But I digress. You can get coins from that, and the winners of the Choose Your Legends vote will be featured in timed events in Fire Emblem Heroes. So you can recruit them in those timed events. And that's most of what was covered on the Fire Emblem Direct.
Mm. That's one heck of a list.
I've got one more notepad here of notes. So, do you have anything else to share?
Yeah, I actually. Quick question, actually. What the like? Okay, so I know you haven't played much of Gears of War, but I'm actually curious. What the heck is the light mass bomb?
I don't know. God, what was the last time I played Gears of War? It was
Because
it was years ago since I played Gears of War.
okay, Gears of War 2, I believe, had this thing where you
Yeah,
had to set this bomb, and it was a light mass bomb. And
yeah.
I
See,
remember
I
them
never played Gears
saying,
of War 2. Just FYI.
yeah, I remember them saying part of what it was, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure it out. And I spent like the next 9 months trying to figure out what it was.
Hmm. The world may never know.
World may never know.
The world may never know. All right,
We just keep repeating that until it
your
gets
next set of
boring.
notes.
Okay, well, this is going to be a broken record. And it's side 2.
Dun
Now,
dun dun.
Jenny, put away that M9. Put it away. No, turn the safety on. Okay. So, um, basically, the reason I wanted to do this was because I had been seeing a lot of gameplay of PlanetSide 2 lately. Honestly, I liked it, but I mean, I liked it but didn't. I was conflicted. Um, so PlanetSide 2 is a free-to-play MMO FPS,
Free to
and I'm
play
not
is
kidding when I say
ew.
that. Huh?
I said free to play is ew.
Oh my god, it's cancer. All
Okay,
right.
in all
So
honesty, I don't have anything against free to play games. I just think that most of the games that you pay for are usually higher quality games.
always true, but yeah, I can see that. Well, I guess it's basis for comparison. I guess it's true. Yeah, but I mean, there are some games that are still in development. Destiny.
I was gonna say
Um,
Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that's the go-to answer is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts is a good answer too. Um, but I think a lot of games that are still in development are and that you have to pay for them while they're in development. Like they're not always best quality. Hello Neighbor is a good
Well, I mean
it's a good
that's
example.
why. I mean that's kind of the basic concept of Kickstarter, which has had some mixed results, but there have definitely been some good games in there. Like
Right.
not a lot of people like Mighty Number 9, which was a Kickstarter, but Ukulele, which a lot of people are hyped for, is a Kickstarter game. So is Shantae Half Genie Hero, which I played and I enjoyed. So is Bloodstained, which I am really hyped for.
Oh
So,
jeez.
because that's like the whole. In case you don't know what Kickstarter is, it's basically there's stretch goals for like funding projects. So like games, for example, and if they reach the stretch goal, then they can make the game. But there's also like bonus stuff that people who back the Kickstarter will get depending on how much money they back. So say for example, for the Bloodstained Kickstarter, since I actually backed that, I put $100 towards that, and because of that, I get bonus content. I get a physical copy with a steelbook, and I also get my name in the credits.
Well,
So
damn.
I'd say for $100, there's other stuff besides that, but I'd say for $100, that's pretty worth it.
No
Like,
kidding.
like whether the game is garbage or not, and I really hope it's not garbage. So anyway, Planet Side 2.
Planet Side 2 is developed by Daybreak Game Company. It is
I thought you
no
were
kidding
I
a
actually thought
sequel
you were
to
about to
Planet
say the game
Side.
was developed by Gabe the Dog.
Oh god, the lag! Alright, say again.
I said I thought you were about to say the game was developed by Gabe the Dog.
God damn it. Gabe the dog.
Rip Gabe the Dog.
Rip Gabe.
Because Gabe the
Oh
Dog
god.
died, sadly. Like that,
No!
yeah.
Rip and pepperonis gave.
uh,
Alright. The game was released in November of 2012, and as a sub note, the game engine used for PlanetSide was, take a guess, Okami.
Uranus.
Wow, what a great answer! No.
I know. I only give top-notch answers. I give
The
nothing
game
else
engine
but
used was
top-notch answers.
It's cool. Forge Light.
Okay.
That's the engine that was used. Forge Light engine.
It ain't Unreal 4
Supposedly
engine.
it's boasted to be able to support thousands of players in a continuous, large-scale map, like on a single map. Which is honestly, I kind of doubt that.
I mean, if we want to talk,
Every piece of tech has its limit.
if we want to talk about MMOs that I'm actually interested in playing, we could talk about. Excuse me. We could talk about Final Fantasy 14. Because apparently a lot of people really like Final Fantasy
Sure.
14, but I've never had a chance to play it. And no,
Mm.
that's not saying like I'm going to talk about it because I know nothing about the game.
I mean, what the heck is? Look, I've never seen the combat in 15.
Well, I was talking about 14, but yeah.
I know, but like,
I have 15. I played a bit of it. I withdraw
Most of
comparison.
my knowledge comes from like Final Fantasy 15 and 7.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 has a very different combat style than previous Final Fantasy games. The best way to describe it is think like something. I know you haven't played this game, but I'm gonna compare it to anyway. For the combat, think something like, say, for example, Xenoblade Chronicles. It's pretty similar to that.
Right.
Where it's like you have to move around and like attack.
I think if I had to. Right. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to talk about Planet Side 2. I'm not going to read this off of a notes list or anything like that. I'm going to draw attention to an old game that I personally enjoyed when I was younger.
Yay, improv.
Yeah. Fuck it.
And that game is?
Reading from a list is much worse because then it feels forced and it's monotone.
That's my favorite game. That you clearly answered my question. No,
I will
seriously.
slap you.
Not unless I
Like-
slap you first. Alright, anyway.
Awkward sounds.
Anyway, that game.
Pokemon Coliseum.
Okay, I can respect that. I play Coliseum.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but I enjoyed Coliseum much more than I should have. And I don't know, like, if it was it certainly wasn't the graphics, because by God, the textures.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
the main complaint people had with it, at least people who played for fun, people who played the game, who play Pokemon competitively, probably had a field day with this game, because the main complaint would probably be every single battle is a double battle. There are no single battles in the game, nor in XD.
Right.
Which is like a
And
double-edged
I found
sword.
that so amazing.
The problem I have with it, and it's a very weird problem to have, is the save data. You can't copy it to other memory cards, which, that much makes sense. But unfortunately, you also can't move it to other memory cards. So if a memory card fills up and you want to move all your stuff to another memory card, you can't do that. You have to start a new save file.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
complaint
really
that
what sucks about it.
yeah, it's a complaint that nobody but I would have a complaint about.
It really sucks, but I think it was just the overall composition of the game as a whole. Because like it wasn't just the graphics, it wasn't just the people or your character's kind of backstory or the people you fought in the battles. Hell no, it's the composition of the game. It's the generic like for a game that probably wouldn't be.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't in the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah, and at the time, I think it might have been one of, if not the most story-driven Pokemon game. Because most of the Pokemon games, like the main series ones at least, were just, get all 8 gym badges, fight the bad guy, like Team Rocket or Team Aqua or Team Magma.
Or hey, just beat the league.
Beat the Elite Four, and then beat the champion, and then there you go, you're done. This game is completely different since there's no gym battles, there's nothing like that. It's entirely story-driven.
Right. And with the way they had that, I found the one thing comedic about that game is, do you remember that one character with like the freaking that disco person with the afro?
Oh yeah, Mira B.
I can't remember that. Huh?
Mira B, that's his name.
Right.
He's the best character.
Best character right there. Oh my
He's
God.
got the best music as well. And I think like, he's even better in the sequel where it's like he's got an even larger afro. and when you get introduced to him in the game, he actually moonwalks into camera.
He does.
Yes.
Oh my God, I remember
he
that.
is the new Michael Jackson.
Holy shit. Japan's impression of a Michael Jackson, everybody.
That's the best.
Oh, but the fact that like the game in itself was story driven, and it actually left you wondering about the character you play as. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
He was also actually, fun fact, he was intended to be brought back into the sequel, into Pokemon XD, but he was intended to be brought back as the main antagonist.
Seriously?
Yeah. The more you know.
What, are we ever gonna see that character again? Because, fuck, man.
If we see him again, it's probably gonna be as like a trophy in the next Smash game or something.
Aw, man. I really wanted to, like, I want to have him, like, join up as, like, one of the antagonists in the game. Or just as a random dude to get info from.
Actually, since the Nintendo Switch is going to be having GameCube Virtual Console, we might get Pokemon Coliseum and XD on the Virtual Console.
That's actually true. Holy shit! Oh my god, I really hope that happens.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Also,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, go on.
I was wondering about that arm, like that thing he stole at the beginning of the game. Like, what was that?
I think that was like it's been a while since I call this team. I want to say it's basically the thing that you use to capture other trainers' Pokemon, but you use it against Shadow Pokemon only to purify them. So it's like
I
he used to work for the enemy, and then he basically turned traitorous.
right. God damn.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to my last bit of news then. This is basically what I put into the other category. Yet two of the three of these are Nintendo related. Yay!
Yay!
First of all, if you have a Nintendo Network account, there is a Reddit post that you might want to take a look at because around 450 Nintendo Network users got their accounts hacked and their password has been made public.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody knows how it happened, but it happened. I took a look at the list and my account's not on there. I saw a few people I know their account was on there, but not a whole lot. And it sounds like the people whose account was on there, they already fixed the problem and changed their password.
That's good to know.
But
You know.
but long story short, if you have a Nintendo Network account, take a look at that list because your name may very well be on there. And if it is, then that means anybody has access to your account.
Uh, can I just say real quick? There's been a there's been a hacking spree going on around Facebook, and I just want to warn you guys that there have been hackers sending bots to uh, hack into your account and send direct messages to your friends with a faked malware link. So if you guys receive something like that,
Well,
and your friend did not send that to you,
yeah.
just don't click on it. Move past it.
I mean, I don't use
Do
Facebook.
not get that malware.
I don't use Facebook, so it doesn't affect me. But regardless, that's also pretty common fare in a lot of stuff that happens to Twitch. Like, if you watch a decently large Twitch account stream, if you're keeping an eye on the chat, every now and again you will see a bot in there with a fake link.
Right.
So it's just something that in general you got to be really careful about when it comes to clicking links, because like almost all the time, clicking a link is a very dangerous thing, whether you know the link or not. But thankfully, that is why we have antivirus programs. So
Avast.
if you don't have an antivirus program, go get one. It might save your ass down the road.
Anything that isn't Norton.
You have something against Norton?
As somebody gets Norton antivirus, this looks good. This looks safe.
Yeah, the main concern I have with Norton specifically is that it's a free antivirus program, which seems a bit sketchy in and of itself. So, which brings me to another fun fact. So, actually, believe it or not, my antivirus program is sadly Norton, because so I used to be on Caspery. Like, that used to be my antivirus program, but then it ran out. So I bring it up to my parents saying, like, we need to renew this because you never know what might happen with the viruses. And, like, they wanted to save money, so they decided to go with Norton. Thanks for that. That's something I'm going to want to be fixing down the road, but I don't have the finances to do so at the moment, so that's lovely.
What?
Yeah.
Norton.
Yeah.
Antivirus.
Yeah. Because Norton hears a who.
Oh my god, I've got bleach right here. I'm just gonna chug this fucker.
Well, while you're doing that, let's move on to the next bit of news. Mario Sports Superstars, the next Mario Sports game. It is going to be getting amiibo cards. So, more amiibos for me to collect.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yay. And final piece of news that I have, Overwatch. The Year of the Rooster event has started, and it will go until February 13th. And it sounds like, from what I've been hearing, the main game mode that's been added for the Year of the Rooster event is the Capture the Flag event, which confused me because I think that's half the modes in standard Overwatch.
Damn.
Yeah,
Ah,
and that's most of what I have for news.
fucking Overwatch, man.
Did you say you want to get Overwatch, or did you say fuck Overwatch?
I said fucking Overwatch, man.
And on
That
that
wasn't
note, what's your game of the week?
My game of the week is Gears of War.
Yay.
First game.
My game of the week is Resident Evil 7. And,
Yeah.
and that'll probably do it for this podcast.
Thanks for joining us on Gamers Unrest.
Join us again on... this is me trying to figure out what the 12th of February. That should be when our next podcast is. Assuming we don't have to postpone it to the 13th.
I didn't do it.
Looking at you.
No worries, guys. It'll be on time.
So he says.
Fire.
Later, guys.
Later.
I'll see you when I'm a barbecue Okami.
You guys have an awesome day.